where we know that the issues regarding children and child pornography has dominated media discussions in the last few days, and we want to find out how, as a nation, we can fix that problem and keep our children, especially those below a certain age, from accessing content that may not be that may be detrimental to their social life and even their normal life. So we would want to quickly go and do that interview. We have a gender activist in studio with us who has studied over the years how these things can be done, both at home, in schools, and maybe as a community, to then later we'll look at it on a national scale, how we can ensure that we do not jeopardize the future of our children. Joining me in studio now is Madam Awo Amanya Aidan. She is a gender activist and heads the J Initiative, and we want to speak to her shortly about this particular development. Madam, good afternoon, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Stephen, and good afternoon to your viewers.
All right, to start with, is it widespread? Is the issue of child pornography widespread? Is it a national problem, or is just, you know, they say we have rich men sickness and poor men sickness? Is this something that is just associated to just rich families?
Steve, Martin, right? Yes. Oh, sorry. Martin, you live in a society, a community where you have all sort of people across economic device and stuff like that, and you attest to the fact that it is not the rich man's sickness anymore. Even the poor man can also acquire that sickness. Handsets are now going for 100 Ghana and below. So if I have a smartphone at 100 Ghana.
Our interview that has to do with something that is of grave concern to almost every parent and even every adult, because children are the future of this country, and issues about child pornography and also the incoming ministry, Gender and Children's Protection Ministry. What can they do to help this particular cause? And then also, how do they intend to ensure that going forward, children in this country, and women for that matter, are also giving the necessary assistance with regard to government? Madam Awo Aidan Amenya is still with us. You were helping us understand how widespread or narrow the issue of child pornography is, and just broadening the discussion. Do you think that parents are forthcoming to trying to find solution to how this problem is spreading?
Parents are trying, I would say so. But then, unfortunately, the solution is not just there, like a one-stop shop for them to click and have the results. So that is where the challenge is. Yes. And it's important for them to also go a step further to demand for some of those solutions. Okay. Because if you are paying for a service, and the service is coming to jeopardize the life of your child, I think you need to sit back and ask yourself again if it's worth paying for that kind of service. So I expect parents to ask questions at their service points, make inquiries. If they don't have, they'll start thinking about such solutions for you, so long as you ask about. But if you refuse to ask, you just sit aloof, chances are that it's going to go business as usual. So they don't get to think outside the box. And
do you think that, how do you think schools and society in general can also play a role in this?
Schools have a critical role to play. I've been saying that I don't want the situation where children are disconnected in school and connected at home. Okay. So the school has to be a point of connection, just as the home being the point of connection. Okay. So the school ICT lessons has to be comprehensive enough to address some of the challenges. And they would even be the strategic points to addressing the issue, because they get to have the hands-on experience. They have the teacher there to give them the technical understanding of issues, as compared to parents who will be looking at the behavioral side of things. So I think we all need to work together and see to it that the issue is looked at.
You wear multiple hats. You are a child rights activist, a gender advocate, and then also you have special interest in women advocacy and women development in the country. We have a newly appointed or nominated gender and women and gender the ministry, the ministry, yes. Yeah. I mean, let's just find out what your expectations are. Looking at the immediate past minister, Nana Oyelitha, many have said that she performed quite creditably, even a lot more creditably than was expected. The incoming administration, what are your expectations of them?
In fact, I am expecting the gender minister designate, if confirmed, to look at working within the framework that has been set up. Okay. To the best of my knowledge, I picked up this document from the gender ministry. That's a 5-year strategic plan.
For the ministry?
That's right. Spanning from now, 2017 to 2021.
Okay, so and that was the baby of the immediate past administration?
That's right.
Okay.
And so for me, I would want us to focus more on this one if she takes over, because when I looked at the present administration's manifesto, Chapter 11 talks about social development. And under social development, the focus is more on the persons with disability, school feeding program, and the LEAP. Okay. And these are all issues in this framework as well. So I don't want the situation where she will come and throw overboard what has been done previously
has been laid.
And then start building on new things. No, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. If we want to see a change, I feel that the change must feed into a system. Okay. And that system is a 5-year development plan, strategic plan we're seeing. So how do we work to feed into that?
So irrespective of the fact that they may come with their own agenda, they should find
a way of fine-tuning it to align with this. Other than that, we are not going to go far. And I personally have a problem when it comes to the issue of gender equality and gender equity. We are doing maybe quite well at the higher level, but we are not doing well at the grassroots level. Okay. Listen to this. If a girl can go to school and sew her dress, which is a natural phenomenon, but she cannot stay in school because she's embarrassed and her studies is affected, her confidence level goes down because she cannot, the boys cannot appreciate. Yes. We don't expect that girl to grow up one day and contest in the district assembly level elections. So we need to be looking at the fruits under the tree, from the roots. How do we tackle the gender inequality at the grassroots level? And when we talk about that, we are not talking about just the girls, we're talking about both sexes.
Both sexes, okay.
So we need to be looking at that, and maybe I expect from her to also make her situation a transformative one, whereby when the system is being fed into, it's affecting the lives of the people directly. Right. And if she observes that some of the processes might be slow or may not achieve the intended result, I think it will be good for her to dialogue with people
broad consultation
involved. Then we see how we can address it. But bypassing this framework to do something else will be suicidal for the country, and that will be
the ministry
bad.
And the country at large.
That's right.
Okay, we would want to go further into this, but we unfortunately have run out of time on this. But we thank you. We probably would have to bring you in later, maybe after she's been, if she goes through the vetting and she's sworn in, we'll bring you in to look a few more at maybe what are the challenges you foresee they may have and all of that. So we are grateful to you. Awo Aidam Amenya, she is a gender activist and also the head of the J Initiative, and has been helping us put into perspective expectations of the Gender, Women and Children Protection Ministry as the minister is yet to be vetted, probably goes through the process and is sworn in. This is Midday Live. Thank you very much, madam.